How many Filipinos can speak Spanish fluently nowadays? Very few, despite the Spanish colonial heritage, which was cut short in 1898. Even under Spanish rule, the vast majority of Filipinos did not speak Spanish. Best estimates are on the order of 10%, though more may have had some minimal ability to understand spoken Spanish. The Spanish had made an early de facto decision not to teach Spanish, but rather to allow the missionaries to learn the various Philippine languages and preach, take confession, etc. In them, only a few scribes and servants were expected to communicate in Spanish, until the very late 1869 Education Reforms that, if fully implemented, might have changed this situation. For some decades after the Americans took over, Spanish continued to be taught at universities, and was even the language of law codes, and thus of courts. There were also elite families who spoke Spanish at home in polite society. In part, I always felt, just to show that they were old families, who had been part of the elite even before 1898. But eventually all this rained in about half a century ago. I don't remember the details. Spanish was no longer a compulsory university course, so it was only studied by the minority who were genuinely interested in learning a language that had little practical use in the country. And the Spanish-speaking families, if they did not die out, waned in cultural and political influence. Spain has, through the Instituto Cervantes, made efforts to encourage the learning of Spanish, just as France did through the Alliance Française and Germany through the Goethe Institute, etc., and the fact that national hero José Rizal wrote primarily in Spanish, as did many other early nationalists, provides an incentive for some Filipinos to develop at least reading skills in the language. But few pursue this to the point of speaking fluently.